Well, good day. In today's video, we will be looking at the first cartoon appearance of when Robin grew up to become Nightwing. So, alright, let's go.
Yeah! So, we start off with Nightwing scoping out a Colombian mob's illegal gun deal happening at the dockyard. Because cliches happen for a reason, but he wants to do this job alone, you know? He doesn't need no damn help from a bat, be it man or girl. He's a lone wolf now, you see? Well, a lone bird, I guess. So, for the most part, Batman and Batgirl stay out of it. But Catwoman don't give no damn about a solo mission. She even gave a tied-up smuggler to Nightwing as a gift, you know, because that's what cats do, right? They give you things to show that they care, right? Like a dead mouse or an international arms dealer. Meow meow. But after this little victory, Barbara Gordon is concerned. Like, Nightwing is her friend, right? Dick Grayson. And Barbara doesn't think that Nightwing should get involved with Catwoman. Like, Catwoman is a complete lady jerk. She can't be trusted. And also, like, Barbara Gordon is Batgirl, right? Like, she's freaking awesome. She could definitely help out, right? But Nightwing says nay. And he goes out again to pursue a lead on this Colombian mob. While he's doing that, Catwoman shows up to give a helping paw. As she says, she's on a hero redemption arc, you know? She's a good cat now, you know? You can trust her. So she forces a working partnership with Nightwing, whether he wants the help or not. So the new dynamic duo break into the penthouse of the mob leader, Enrique Algancho, aka Ricky the Hook. Wow, that's kind of a lazy nickname, hey? So the duo beats the snot out of Ricky and his men, and they steal some important data and split. Jeez, pretty good pair these two make, hey? But now it's Batman's turn to be concerned. He goes to Selina Kyle's house and tells her to keep the hell away from Nightwing. You know, like, she can't be trusted, and Nightwing is a good boy. He doesn't need to be corrupted by her bad influence. But then Nightwing shows up and tells Batman to make like Michael Jackson and beat it. Which he does. You know, because like he keeps saying, he's running solo. He doesn't need a partnership, that's why he quickly joined a partnership with Catwoman. And with that, Nightwing found some interesting information in Ricky the Hook's files. There's a big shipment coming in on one of his boats tonight. And if Nightwing's intel is correct, it's a major gun trafficking shipment. So the two go to check it out. But when they're on the boat, man, there's no weapons there. There's no guns, no nothing. Not even a slingshot. It's just South American artifacts that are being smuggled in. Quite peculiar. So naturally, Catwoman starts smashing some of these artifacts. Opa! But why is she doing this? Well, it turns out, not that long ago, she was in Argentina and she stole the Cat's Eye Emerald. She hid it in one of these ancient artifacts knowing that it would be smuggled out of the country by Ricky the Hook. And then she needed Nightwing's help to track down when the shipment was going to be made. Hey! Oh, Nightwing, if only you listened to Batsy instead of being played like a fiddle. And, for good measure, she beats up Nightwing. Kinky. Will Dick Grayson ever escape the nickname of Boy Blunder? Well, turns out he will. Batman and Batgirl show up and turns out that they were tracking the Cat's Eye Emerald as well. And they needed Catwoman to expose it for them. Like, holy turntables, Batman. Oh, I just realized Nightwing doesn't do that gag anymore. Oh, I'm gonna miss that. Either way, Ricky the Hook and his men show up for some face punching and some gun shooting. So after all the henchmen are taken down easily, we got a 2-card fight. For the heavyweight bout, we have Bat versus Hook. This Ricky the Hook guy, man, he's got some deadly rights, you know. Boom, hey? But sadly, he took himself out with a crate falling on top of him accident. And well, that's life, man. In the light heavyweight fight of Wing versus Cat, we have Nightwing chasing down and escaping Catwoman on her boat. And really, actually was a pretty good tussle too, right? But it was Nightwing blowing up Catwoman's boat and knocking her out. so the day is saved. Hooray! The smugglers are beaten, the cat is licked, and the emerald is retrieved. And I guess with that, that is the end of this fantastic tale.
So yeah, hey, that was a decent episode, right? You know, like, I liked it and all that, but you know, I wouldn't say it was my favorite episode of all time or anything. It was a basic, serviceable episode, you know, really. You have a generic bad guy with basically Captain Hook there. As we've seen earlier in the series, we know that we cannot trust Catwoman, so there's really no mystery of if we can or can't, you know? And with Nightwing working closely with Batman and Batgirl this entire time, like, realistically, he still could have just been Robin for this episode, you know? Like, I don't know, I kind of just think, like, if they're gonna introduce a new character or a new variation of an existing character as a Nightwing here, like, that episode should have a bit more oomph behind it, right? But I guess you have to start Nightwing like somewhere, so you might as well start him like that. With that though, like, it was kind of neat to see like a different working relationship, we know, with Dick and Bruce and Barbara, I guess, you know, like, that did have a bit of an evolution there, even though it was kind of nullified by the end of the episode. And of course, right, like, Catwoman has to go after the Cat's Eyes Emerald, right? Because cat! What if this thing was called the Dog's Eye Emerald? Like, would she go after it then? Like, it would be worth the same amount of money, right? Oh no, I can't take that money. That's dog money. You know? But still, you know, it was cool to see Nightwing. You know, you have technically a new addition to the Bat family. You will see new Robins eventually, so like, you really expand that whole kind of part of the comics there. The more Bat characters, the better! Even if Dick Grayson has that power mullet going on, like, holy crap! When the hell did he have time to grow his hair out that long? Something about 90s and comic books with mullets, man. Like, even Superman had a mullet after he came back from the dead. Like, I just don't get it! Nonetheless, as I say, man, Nightwing's cool. It's cool to finally see him in a cartoon form, and we'll probably get some better episodes with him later. But like I say, this one, decent, right? But with that, let us go behind the scenes and all that stuff to see more things about Nightwing and all that kind of crazy stuff over here.
So yes indeed, Dick Grayson. How did this guy come to be and then come to be as Nightwing? Well, for that, let us take a closer look. So, Dick Grayson as Robin first appeared in Detective Comics number 38 in 1940. And, like, pretty legendary, right? Like, you gotta say, man, like, he was basically the first teenage sidekick in the superhero genre. So that in itself, you know, is actually pretty cool. And as Robin, of course, he's part of the dynamic duo beating the crap out of criminals and bad doers all around Gotham City. But after a while, was that enough for him? No! He and a bunch of other teenage sidekicks created their own superhero team, the Teen Titans, and they first appeared in The Brave and the Bold number 54 in 1964. And with that, man, like, Robin took a major leap in maturity, right? Because not only was he crime fighting alongside his buddies, but he is also the leader of the team. And so, like, they're doing pretty awesome too, right? Biff, bam, boom, and all that kind of stuff. And Dick Grayson has eventually matured to the point where he's like, you know what? Why am I a sidekick? Like, I'm actually doing pretty awesome, you know? I'm running my own team, like, we're doing really good work. I'm my own man, so I might as well get my own identity. Screw that Robin stuff, which he did, and he first debuted as Nightwing in Tales of the Teen Titans number 44 in 1984. So gone is that costume where he shows off his legs, and in is the costume where he shows off his chest. What an exhibitionist, hey? Huh? But, you know, he would get a couple of different looking uniforms, you know, like that first one. Can't say that's something, you know, I would wear, but, you know, he kind of got some better looks after that. And yes, of course, he did get the longer hair, because the hair parted to the side only works for so long. But then, DC Comics does what DC Comics does best, a soft reboot of their universe and kind of retell a whole bunch of origin stories. Cause why not? Why the hell not, right? So this reboot was initiated by the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, and the new origin for Nightwing started in Batman number 408 in 1987. A little darker of an origin for this one. Dick Grayson as Robin got shot by the Joker like in the shoulder, right? You know, like not fatal or anything, but you know, still pretty severe. That actually shook Batman up pretty big. And Batman figured, man, you're just a child, like, I can't be protecting you, this is horrible. So he fired Dick Grayson as Robin. So Dick Grayson had no choice, you know, but to be his own superhero and came up with Nightwing. So, how did Dick Grayson come up with the name Nightwing? Like, you know, it's a pretty cool name, right? He kind of stole these ideas. So, the first time we did see a superhero named Nightwing, it was actually Superman. So, in Superman number 158 in 1963, Superman and Jimmy Olsen found themselves in Kandor. You know, that Kryptonian city that was shrunken down? Yeah. So while they were stuck down there, like, Superman was actually powerless. But he still found some gadgets, you know, to give him some kind of superpowers. So he and Jimmy Olsen kind of took inspiration from Batman and Robin and became Nightwing and Flamebird. Of course, Dick Grayson heard of this later on. He's like, Nightwing, hey? Yeah, that sounds pretty hip. If that name's good enough for Superman, damn sure is good enough for me. So, like how I was mentioning earlier about how this, you know, debut of Nightwing didn't have that oomph behind it. Well, we did eventually see that oomph in an episode later on called Old Wounds. And in that episode, Nightwing is telling the new Robin of how him and Batman split, you know? A much more emotionally charged episode with a lot more conflict and drama between the two, right? So that would kind of have been a better way to introduce the character, you know, I think. You know, like Robin kind of being disillusioned with Batman's methods, you know, thinking there's different ways of doing stuff, and some other things too that just kind of led to a big blowout, and Robin actually quitting on Batman, saying, screw you, I'm out of here. I'm gonna call myself Nightwing or something. Peace! Which he did. So if you wanted to see more of Nightwing for sure that episode, check it out, man. And for just a little fun fact in this featured episode here. So when Nightwing was showing Catwoman all those ships that are coming in off of that shipping manifest, it's actually funny, I didn't see this at first because I was just following Nightwing's finger of where he was pointing to, but other ships on that manifest were actually pretty famous ships. Like right here, you have the SS Minnow. That was a ship that took a 3-hour tour but wound up crashing on an island later known as Gilligan's Island. This one here, you have the HMS Bounty. You know, the classic Mutiny on the Bounty? That would be the one! Also here, the Poseidon, you know? That famous cruise liner that kind of went capsize, and everybody had a freaked out, upside down adventure trying to get the hell off of that thing. So it is kind of funny, it does stand out when you see it, but you know, you might not see it at first. So, you know, nice little touch there, guys who worked on Batman. But yes, indeed! That's all the basic kind of things, like I say, about Nightwing. You know, there's some other stuff that happened, but you know, for the main meat and potatoes, that's all you kind of need to know. So it's a cool thing to see this character evolve, you know, it's really awesome. Like, you still will always have a Batman and Robin, but you got Nightwing, who's pretty awesome in his own right, too. So it's good to see. But, yeah, man, with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess, sir, that's it. Also, if you're interested, I created my own comic book channel, 215 Comics. And currently, I have created my own cartoon series, The Adventures of the Density. And recently started a radio series featuring my newest character, Elastomorph, with more titles to come. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link up top here to that channel and some links at the end of the video. Yeah! Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, you know, feel free to do so. Or anything else, you know, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, you know, have a great day. Thanks.